You just won the regional title, and as you hear the roar of the crowd and the shouts of your teammates, you point a finger to the heavens and acknowledge the source of your strength. And that's what gets your team disqualified from the statewide competition. I'm PJTV's Scott Ott, joined now by Stephen Green and Bill Whittle. Well, men, junior Derek Hayes anchored the victorious relay team for Columbus High School in the regionals, but when he raised a hand in praise to God, an index finger lifted near his ear, according to his dad, Derek lost the team's chance to advance to the Texas State Championships. Officials say it's not illegal to pray or to thank God. It's illegal to physically express excessive celebration. Raising arms is considered unsporting conduct. Now, Stephen, you have a couple of boys. Aren't you glad you heard this cautionary tale before they reach sporting age? And how will you instruct them to behave should they ever become victorious?
Not like that. You know, not in conformity with this PC, everybody's a winner, nobody's a loser BS. It's turning us into a nation of losers. It's turning us into a nation of wimps who can't even acknowledge a simple victory. He wasn't acknowledging the victory himself. He was saying, not I did this, but God allowed me to do this. If that's not good sportsmanship, I don't know what that... I'm about to say very bad words. And so you know what? I'm going to calm down. I'm going to relax, and I'm going to tell myself I've got 10 more years till my oldest is the same age as that fine young man. And I hope that should something like this happen to him, he will take it in real good sportsmanship and like a gentleman, which is apparently the way this other young man did.
Well, Bill, isn't this rule a sensible first step to keep kids from going down the slippery slope toward ostentatious bump and grind NFL-style end zone routines?
I think a sensible rule to prevent this kind of thing from happening in the future would be to take the people that disqualified that high school team and beat them to death with a relay baton in front of millions of people on national television. You don't have to do it to every single person in the country, just have to do it to those guys and make sure that it's seen by enough people, and then it encourages the others. You said, how would your son celebrate victory? But frankly, if you're not allowed to show any excitement after a lifetime of effort, then there won't be any victory anymore. Why would you possibly ever want to do anything excellent if you don't get to celebrate the results of it? I mean, after all, if you can't put one hand up by your ear as a show of genuine emotion and elation at having worked basically your entire adult life in order to achieve a goal, then certainly there must be other internal satisfactions. There's things you can do. Maybe you could just go and hug everybody else meekly with your head down. Look, athletic competition is a result of many different things. A result of hard work, it's a result of discipline, it's a result of practice, it's a result of mental toughness. But ultimately, in the instant of it, it's the result of an extreme burst of extreme energy applied extremely carefully. And if you think that adrenaline can simply be released without ducking your head or doing something like a little finger wave or a yes, then you don't understand the human condition, you don't understand anything about sports, you don't understand anything about winning, you don't understand anything about America, and you need to find another job.
Well, Stephen, since not everyone gets to win the race, wouldn't allowing winners to physically express their conquest end up in tragically hurt feelings among among the ones with a temporary success deficit?
I hope so.
Yeah, it absolutely should. Losing sucks, all right? Losing sucks, and it should suck because you lost. And you should take that feeling and make it drive you to do better next time. So, yeah, we're number one, and we got to say number one so that number two knows he's number two, and maybe he'll do better next time. But in the meantime, we're number one.
Well, Bill, what do you think this little episode says, if anything, about the state of our union?
Well, it's breeding mediocrity, and it's breeding not only the acceptance of mediocrity, but the enforcement of mediocrity. I've said this story before, but when I was in Little League, first year I played, I was in right field. We lost every game. We went 0-10. We had a coach named Bob Kirkwood who took us out for Slurpees even when we lost, told us we did the best we could. He thought we did the best we could. We'll try to do better next time. Next season, I moved into first base. We went 10-0. Didn't have anything to do with me playing first base. But going 10-0 was a whole different story after going 0-10. And I put up on my Facebook page not too long ago a picture of a Little League kid running. He just scored a run. His hands are up in the air in celebration, the runner is, and the catcher who missed the throw is in a state of absolute agony. He's just heartbroken. And I said on that post, I said, it's good to be the kid who scored the run, but it's better to be the catcher. It's better to be the catcher. Because without that sense of agony and failure and disappointment, nothing you ever achieve after that has any meaning whatsoever, Scott. You got to lose before you know what winning is. If you do nothing but win, you never lose. That's the problem with this president. He's had people pushing him and clearing the way the whole time. He's never had to lose. That's why he has no character. That's why he has no moral courage. That's why he has no sense of right and wrong. That's why he has no sense of achievement or exceptionalism. He's been pushed and carried across the finish line in first place his entire life. And if he had some losses behind him, he'd be a better man.
What irony that Derek Hayes gets disqualified by an anti-taunting rule, not for chest-thumping self-congratulation, but for, as Steve suggested, directing applause and gratitude to God. My grandfather, Jim McMaster, coached Little League football for about 35 years. He taught his players, including my brothers and I, how to win and how to lose with dignity and good sportsmanship. And he had no patience for hot dogs who showed off after a successful play. This attitude was in Pop's blood, and soon it was in ours. But Pop never lost sight of the fact that he was coaching boys, or that football is an exciting game. When a boy wins something, we jump up and down. We raise our hands. We scream and shout and roar like animals and eat ice cream. The idea that an athlete has to squelch physical expressions of victory to satisfy some twisted vision of joyless egalitarianism is another reflection on the pathetic mediocrity of the League of Domineering Control Freaks. Let the kids play. For Steve Green, Bill Whittle, and the entire Trifecta crew at PJ TV, I'm Scott Ott. Yes!